It's game time. The Kid Gowie. Ravens Nation. All we know is purple and black. And if you're not a Ravens fan, Welcome to Baltimore, Maryland, M&T Bank Stadium, where opponents don't make it out alive unless we bury them. Every team be afraid of them, especially all the quarterbacks, as our defensive linemen won't hesitate to leave you sacked. Let's take a minute, go back to Super Bowl 35. Domination was an understatement up against the Giants. Numerous touchdowns, they put up numbers, and it didn't take a nutritionist to see they hunger. Only stat Kerry Collins could get was interceptions. He must have thought throwing to the D counted as receptions. The pass was legendary, but don't sleep on the present. Our secondary make quarterbacks avoid that direction. You tryna run the ball, you better hope your blockers work. You can juke, you can spin, but your destination's the turf. This is a man's game, being soft will get you hurt. Watch the defense force a fumble and the fans go berserk. 17 weeks, only one league out of 32 squads. No one's messing with our team. We all bleed black and purple, you can check our IVs. Raven Nation fly high, watch us all spread our wings. Put your game face on, embarrass the competition. You ain't talking about the greatest if the Ravens aren't mentioned. Screw every other team, cause those dudes are whack. In Baltimore, the only thing we know is purple and black. Go! They always win when the championship's on the line. So if you hoping that they failed, then you really wasting your time. Go and ask the 49ers, I'm pretty sure they remember when they made a comeback, but weren't declared the winners. 2 rings down, but you know they won't stop now. If the opposing D's caught slipping, you know exactly how that goes. That's another deep connection for 6 points in the end zone. The stadium goes wacko as Ravens put in work. Pittsburgh Steelers, that still curtain is looking more like a skirt. So tell me who they say is gonna beat them Bengals. Who used to be the Browns until they relocated? Ravens, they are one of the greatest. There's simply no denying it. To beat them, bringing your A game's a requirement. With the youth of the team, I bet they still be dominant, even after the greatest linebacker's retirement. 17 weeks, only one league out of 32 squads. No one's messing with our team. We all bleed black and purple, you can check our IVs. Raven Nation fly high, watch us all spread our wings. Put your game face on, embarrass the competition. You ain't talking about the greatest if the Ravens aren't mentioned. Screw every other team, cause those dudes are whack. In Baltimore, the only thing we know is purple and black. Go!
Welcome. Thank you for everybody to be joining me here live. I don't have a player profile today. It's been a week. It's definitely been a week. But you know, the NFL has been moving on a very slow, like time is moving slowly now. Like we are anticipating the draft coming, and time feels like, oh my God, this week's passed and they're so long. In football, not much happens, right? So we have really 2 news: Rashee Rice and Diggs trade. The Rashee Rice, like I don't have all the facts. I know the same thing you guys know. I think it was kind of weird that the Chiefs released him that quickly. Today came out that he had drugs. So that means if they can determine that he was under the influence, the people that got hurt, now that makes more sense what happened, why the guy got released. But anyway, I mean, that's an unfortunate situation. But let's talk about the Diggs trade, because a lot of Ravens fans quickly was like why we didn't do that, right? And the crazy thing is a 2-parter here. Is the compensation wasn't crazy for Diggs. Compensation, especially if the Texans don't give him a new contract, compensation was great. Like essentially, you give the equivalent of a 3rd-round pick for Diggs. Is still a great receiver in this league. I'm not sure if he's like a top tier, but definitely still wide receiver 1, right? But the question then you have to think about, okay, compensation. The Ravens probably could have paid the whole draft, which is the second next year. They could have paid that no problem. But if you think about it, the money wise, right? Obviously, we are a little bit cap constrained. But if you think about it, here is the fit. Does Stefan Diggs fit this offense? But you can argue, Sonny, he will be better than any receiver. Maybe not as good as Zay Flowers, but he has more pedigree. He has done it for longer. He definitely should be better. Maybe than Zay Flowers at the beginning. Good mentor, and all those are great. But in my opinion, what the Ravens need is a complementary receiver for the receivers they have, which is faster, shifty guys. Bateman's not small. He's shifty. He's fast-ish. Like, he's not slow. He's fast, but not like, say, Flowers fast. More of a... He gets open, not contested catches. Dependable hands, in the case of Bateman. So, wide receiver 3 is what I'm hoping we can have, right? We still have Anderson likely. But what we need is either wide receiver 2/1 and Zay Flowers be the 1/2. And we need a big body receiver, a guy that can box out, that can high point the ball, that can go get the ball. Those are the things, those are the guys that we currently need that we don't have. We don't have. You want Nelly to be your 4th receiver, and you want the others to then fall in line. All right? I had high hopes for Bateman, but we didn't. So, with Stefan Diggs working in the Baltimore Ravens, probably. But the reality is that even though he probably could have worked, he wouldn't be the best fit. Now, with that said, that puts us in the next topic, which is, what are we doing? What are our biggest holes, right? That's the title of this video. What are the Ravens' biggest holes? And sorry, I'm forgot to create the draft room for the mock draft. And I think we had 3 very big holes. Now we did sign Van Noyen, and I like the signing, veteran presence and all that. And I think it was Jeff Sarebic that said, "Oh, we needed a veteran because of the young core that we have," and that's true. We do have a young core, but, and then here's the button here. That core of guys, they don't all play the same type of edge. In the case of Robinson, which surprised me, I thought he played way better than what I was expecting last year. He's definitely more of an inside guy. I don't think he's going to be an outside guy. Ojabo, we don't know. Ojabo has played, 2-3 games? And I cannot really tell you what Ojabo is going to be. Owe is what you will think an outside linebacker for the Ravens is, without the production that we thought he was going to have, or most people thought. I didn't like the pick, but most people thought, right? Because he is fast, he's agile, he can be an outside linebacker that can cover, that can rush, right? He certainly fits the mold that he can do multi things. And a 3-4 defense, that's what your outside linebacker was. I don't think Robinson is that. Again, Ojabo, we don't know. But Noy, they basically used him as a passer specialist last year, and I think that's what they're going to use again for Van Noy. So I still think we need a backer desperately. You need a CB3. You need depth, right? Because right now Humphrey Stevens goes down. Who's your other outside back? Who's your other corner? Armour Davis. I don't know what to make of Armour Davis. Pepe Williams is an inside guy, so he won't be on the outside. So kind of. And then, so those are the defense side. You're good on safety. D lineman, you can always use a couple more, but you're not thin on D lineman. And linebacker, you're solid. You're good. You have Simmons, and you have the backup with Chris Bohr and company. So it's really a safety. You might need a backup, but again, Washington plays safety in college. He might be good for safety in the time being, right? He probably can fit that Geno Stone type of safety, right? They can come and give you a couple of plays. But the question here is, on defense, you had edge. You had corner, not desperate, but I think, need it. I think you're going to go for corner to the veteran route and people getting cut and you can pick. I think a couple of the guys that are still out there, like Stephon Gilmore and all that, those guys are not looking to be CB3 in the bench. Which is what you're asking these guys, right? You're asking them go to the bench. If Marlon needs a breather, Stevens needs a breather, which usually you don't want to take those corners out. If they go on a 5 receiver set, then you go in, but you are limited in place, okay? So those are two. But now we go on offense and we talk about receiver. We need a receiver. I think we might have like 4 the rest. So we do need a receiver and we need O-line, right? We don't running back we need, but we need running back like we need, I don't know, a safety, right? Your starters are there. Those starters are not going out. You might still have a decent backup, and then you might need depth, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if they pick a running back in the 4th, 5th round. That's running back. Fullback, we have it. Tight ends, we have a plethora of tight ends. Receiver, we talk about it, and then we go and we need a backup quarterback. But again, that could be 6th, 7th round undrafted. I don't know. But then we talk about the O-line. Left tackle's there, ish, when he plays. Then we have left guard. Who's the left guard? I don't know. Center, right guard. Who's the right guard? I don't know. And then right tackle. But the reality is the Ravens look like, if you look at their roster, they've been preparing for a life without these 2 guards or for a 2-guard position open. Before he's Cleveland, Salah, Macari, right? That's 4 guys competing for 2 positions. And then the real need, in my opinion, the need that I think cannot go unnoticed is the right tackle position. And here's where I think this is a draft that is really good on tackles, right? But it's also a draft they have a high-profile receivers and high-profile quarterbacks and 2 can miss tackles, right? I haven't watched the tape for these 2 well-known tackles that can be missed, right? But this is a draft, in my opinion, that if one of those 2 tackles falls, and then you still have the guy from Oregon State, falls to like the teens, you should go get it. So, right tackle for me is the biggest hole. You have Lamar, and a lot of y'all will say Sonny. But I want the receivers. I want Lamar to have weapons. Yeah, it's one ball. He will have to pick at each play 1 person to throw. He still has 2 tight ends, right? He has 3 tight ends. He has 2 really good pass catching tight ends. 1 really good receiver in Zay Flowers, and a man receiver with Bateman. So yes, I agree. And a guy that overperformed, my opinion, on Nelly. So I agree. We need receivers, but if Lamar has no time, what does it matter? You can have there Jefferson. That's true. Jefferson, you can just lob it out, which is the type of receiver we want. In this receiving class, there's a lot of big body receivers. So I don't know. I think, look, if one of those guys is there, you try to trade up. If not, at 30, you try to trade down. And the idea is early 2nd, right? If one of those tackles like Jordan Howard is there, you grab him. I know he played mostly left tackle. You put him right tackle next year. Then kick him to left next year when Stanley's gone, because you're going to have to figure out where to shave money, right? And then the following year, you go draft another one or go double tackles. But when you trade down, that extra pick, maybe you can trade up also in the 2nd round a little bit to get that receiver. That being said, let's do this thing. Let's do this draft. By the way, shout out to you, Guru Inside. Shout out to everybody that's watching now or will be watching the replay. Give me a comments of what you think. What is the biggest hole for the Ravens, and what will you want to do with the picks in the draft? 4-round mock draft. Let's get it. So I've been using a couple different mocks, and so here these two guys went quickly. I feel like this was one of the most accurate ones. So let me pause it here. So you see that if that is there here, right? I didn't act fast enough, but if that is there here, you want to talk to the Texans, jump them, right? So I went to the Cowboys. Man, I think a trade like this, the Ravens will do it. I don't want to do this trade here for the sake of it doesn't gain me anything. But if you have that trade, right, you probably, if you're the Ravens, should do it. That means you got to mean with 3 second-round picks next year. They do that like every day. Even though that means you're losing a 3rd-round pick, a 4th-round pick. You do that every day. I'm not doing it because I want to have more picks for this exercise. But that trade you take, this trade you might take. Oh, didn't like that. Let me see if they go one up. Okay, so in here, by the way, that could be a pick. I love Coleman. He's currently my favorite receiver in the position the Ravens have. I'm okay with him. No, I'm okay with him. He's the fast guy. I don't think he is what we need, in my opinion. So I'm gonna go ahead and accept the trade of the Panthers and see if I can move. Okay, so in this scenario here, what did the Cardinals pick a receiver? So I see this. I don't think they will do that, but and here's way harder to do trades also, by the way, than it is in PFF, which I guess I appreciate. There you go. Okay, and here you trade it back twice. I think this is the point you pick, right? And for me, it's tempted to go with Coleman, right? And if anything, let me see what the Chargers picked. Chargers pick a receiver in their mock draft here. You can pick and try to trade and get and double it up, right? But for me, just in case you cannot, you go with Jordan Morgan, the tackle, right? And then you propose a trade. Something you could do. 47, and then nope. Very stingy on the tracing here. Damn. Oh, we'll have to see. There you go. It went out. So it sucks again. For me, I would love if that happens. So then we watch the receivers. Trey Franklin's okay. He went out. Polk's another guy's okay. I know a lot of people like it. He's fine as well. He definitely looks. I did watch a little bit of him. He definitely looks like a Deebo Samuel type of guy. Which goes again, is that type of receiver we need? Not really. You want more possession receiver. So, in a case like this, I like Trice. He wouldn't be a bad pick here. I heard good things about Melton. I haven't watched tape of him, so I cannot guarantee what they're saying. I like what I saw from him too with Nyland. So we still have 4 picks here. I'm gonna go with Leggett in this mock. Then we have pick 93. And I appreciate everybody who's watching the live stream, either on Twitter or on YouTube. And I appreciate everybody here that is coming later and watching it. Make sure you let me know what you thought, who you wanted to draft, what do you think is the biggest hole, and all that. So for me, like right now, and again, I know I'm not a trenches guy. You can solve your problem here. Right, so you had 93, you have 113. Let's see, receiver. I like him too, but I think I can get him later. If I was the Raven, you know how we double up on tackles a couple years ago. I would double up on tackles and then let whoever wins the right tackle position wins, and also gives you depth. And then next year you might have your tackles already. You don't have to worry about getting tackles. You might have your left, Morgan, and right tackle on and Russengarten. I was thinking how you pronounce it, Russengarten. So pick 113. He's the guy, if I'm not mistaken, he's the shifty guy, return ability guy. We have 131. Next pick is at 130. This guy didn't close. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and do it. Brendan Rice, big body receiver. Again, trying to make sure this is for this year and next year. And then with the next pick, you can really go to different places, right? Think about this. We have our tackle. We have our receiver. A tackle, receiver, tackle, receiver. And you're saying that doesn't make sense. No, it does. Your hope is he can be a 1/2, right? Your hope is this guy can be your number 4, hopefully pushing Nelly a little bit, or be your red zone threat for now, and next year be a starter. He's a left tackle. He basically played left tackle through career in college, but put in a right tackle, right, with the competition here, plus the guy that we signed for the Texans. Let them battle it out, and then let's say the hope for you is he wins the competition, the right tackle. Then next year you have your right tackle. The following, and then that next year also you put him in left. Stanley's a free agent. You have your left, you have your right. Your O-line is complete, young, incomplete. So that being said, I like him, McCormick. I'm gonna go ahead and get him. I think he could be he can be also a sneaky pick, but I don't think they go 3 receivers in the first 5 picks. But McCormick, put him part of the O-line competition. And the reality is, what you want is to have a big competition that you can have. Lamar is the most important asset in this team, right? So you want to protect Lamar. You don't want to have doubts if he's gonna be okay or not. If for some reason, not some reason, Mason McCormick doesn't win the job, right? Let's say it's Ben Cleveland over there on the right guard, Voorhees on the left guard. Yeah, McCormick, he looks good. You leave him there for next year. Next year, Cleveland is a free agent. If he plays great, go. You have McCormick, you have Saleh to battle out for the right guard position. Remember, we're going to be cap constrained. Lamar's contract is only going to go up. It's only going to go up. So it's important for us to look at people that can impact this year and next year, right? And in the second and third round picks, people, if you're not impacting this year, definitely next year. And fourth or later depth. So this is a draft that I went. Our big guys here and our speedy guys here. So Let me know what y'all think. Let me know in the comment section below. Let me know what is the biggest hole in your opinion for the Ravens. I will see you next time here. Peace out.